Welcome back, it's Knack, bringing you some more live tournament play in the Tournament of Blades going on right now, and we're going to be watching a fantastic matchup. A long time coming in this tournament. These two players have been sneaking their way up the ladder, up the bracket I should say, getting ready to face each other off. We are going to be playing on slag pits, and we do have CarbonEuropa spawning as the blue Protoss at the 6 o'clock position, and Recent spawning as the red Zerg at the 3 o'clock position. And there's a little bit of chatter here. They're asking if somebody got kicked out of the tournament for cheesing, and that is not true. Nobody got kicked out of the tournament. We'll give them a little heads up there. Let's talk a little bit about these players real quick. Now, CarbonEuropa is playing with Clan Carbon. We had two Clan Carbon guys in this tournament, and he is an extremely fun player to watch. I love his play style. He also plays at my favorite race, so the race that I use is Protoss. So in a lot of ways, I will be pulling for this gentleman today. But he is a platinum player, and unfortunately for him, unfortunately for his opponent, he is going up against Recent, who is a master level player, playing as Zerg. So really good players here. It's going to be a really fun matchup. Obviously, CarbonEuropa knows that he is going up against Recent, and what level he is. He is going to. I know he's been practicing today, warming up. He said in the chat, trying to prepare himself for this matchup. He knows that he's got some ground to make up, and between the skill level, but is excited to just try and pull that off and do the absolute best that he possibly can. Serious about taking down first prize in this tournament. So, I mean, if he can beat this guy, this will set him up for pretty decent run at first place in this tournament. So really excited to see if that will happen for him. And we are pleased to have Recent, though, who he can have a shot at it as well. We're not going to try and exclude him, but it is kind of fun to see a lower level player potentially beat a higher level player. So a lot of guys will be pulling for that underdog, and a lot of you will also be pulling for Recent, because a lot of you know who he is, and I've seen him playing around. He does a lot of games around for fun, and allows people to observe, which is always neat to see. A high level player let you do that. Oh, look at this! We do have some Vespine Geyser takeage from Recent. And is he going to take it again? We shall see. It looks like he's just poking around the base, trying to figure out what's going on. He did see the cybernetic score, is getting all the scouting information that he needs at this point. He's going to let this probe beat him up a little bit. I think he wants to see whether or not he's going to be chrono boosting out the warp gate technology. He is chrono boosting it out, and it looks like Recent is feeling good enough about that scouting information that he's going to poke out of the base now. He's going to poke back up in here and see if they can get this zealot out of position. Oh, here he goes, back in the base. See what he can find. We do have a probe for CarbonEuropa in his opponent's base, and I do believe, let's check his vision to make sure that Carbon has scouted the expansion. He has, and is going to be rallying his probe around the base here for just a little bit. Recent still getting plenty of scouting information in this base, and we do have a robotics facility going down for CarbonEuropa. So we are going to see some robotics play. Those Immortals are very effective against roaches. But he did scout that, so Recent does know what's coming his way, and we'll probably be able to prepare for that right away. He does have 4 Zerglings on the field now at this point, and we're going to see what he's going to use them for, see if he's just going to go for straight map control, or if he's going to do some sort of harassment with those. He does have 2 Queens on the field, 1 at each base, using them for that inject larva, which is extremely useful on a early expand Zerg player. And he is getting that metabolic boost out right away. These Zerglings poking up the ramp just to see what's going on. It looks like he's testing his player for weaknesses, I think, at this point. Recent trying to figure out whether or not he wants to move in, but he does have a lot of Zerglings on the field right now. 20 Zerglings on the field. Let's see what he's got in production. Just the metabolic speed boost, so looks like he may just go for some... Oh, and look at this, an evolution chamber on the way, so we're probably going to see some upgrades here fairly soon. Probably, I would guess, looking from his build right now, that he will use it to go for probably an attack upgrade first, and use that to do some sort of timing attack with his roaches here in just a little bit. And there is a roach warren going down for him right now, but he's got all sorts of scouting information. You can see the difference between higher level players and lower level players. I mean, look at this. He's got all sorts of scouting overlords and just really able to pick up a lot of information from his opponent. You can take a look at his vision. You can see quite a bit. Oh, and that overlord going down very quickly. We do have one immortal on the field right now, and another one coming out right now. He was chrono boosting that out for CarbonEuropa. And these zealots poking down here, seeing what they can do, and we might have a little run by here. Oh my goodness. CarbonEuropa a little bit out of position, needs to keep that spot there blocked off right here, his small choke, so that these do not run in there. It looks like Recent probably could have moved right in there. And CarbonEuropa deciding he wants to engage these Zerglings. Look at those force fields by CarbonEuropa. Very, very good play. And getting some trapped outside the base and some trapped inside the base. This is a really, really good play by CarbonEuropa, and actually doing quite a bit of damage. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. That is difficult to get 550 resources lost off of. He's got one Overlord kill, so some of that is from the Overlord, but mostly from the Zergling. So very, very good play and great micro we're seeing from CarbonEuropa. Talk about serious. He wants to take this tournament down, and he's not giving his master opponent any leeway. So really, really fun play there. I'd love to see that really nice micro, insane micro there. And here comes an attack right now. Looks like he's pretty serious about doing some damage here and putting some pressure on his opponent. He is taking his expansion at the same time, so it doesn't look like he's trying to win the game off of this push here, but he is trying to do some serious damage to his opponent's army and to his economy. And these immortals are going to be very effective against those roaches, and hopefully he'll be able to get this hatchery down, which would be a very, very good play for him right now. This hatchery is upgrading to a lair. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to cancel this in time. Oh, it looks like CarbonEuropa might have to move out here. He is getting a little bit of surround here with all these roaches. But geez, CarbonEuropa doing quite a bit of damage. Ended up actually taking more units lost there, but you know, he really hurt his opponent's economy. Let's take a look at the probe count here. So 28 probes to 26 drones. Definitely hurt his opponent's economy there, which is always a good thing. But we do have an attack coming right now from Recent. He's got a couple Zerglings poking over in the base to see what he can pull off, see what he can see, and here comes a lot of roaches. Very, very liberal usage of those force fields, though. So that's what we like to see from CarbonEuropa at this point. And actually doing quite a bit of damage. It looks like he might be able to even out the units lost tab here if he stays careful with these units. Oh, he's getting a little bit out of position there. Probably took a little bit more losses than he needed to at that point. And now actually Recent in a pretty decent position to do more damage. So kind of a tough thing for CarbonEuropa at this point. It's going to really delay this expansion, him being able to get that saturated the way that he wants to, but he is moving these immortals out and a couple more of these zealots to try and do some more damage to these roaches. Let's take a look at the units tab, and now Recent droning up like crazy. He is back up to 42 drones, so very, very, very fast macro there. And here comes the circling reinforcements. It looks like Recent might be committing to this attack and trying to put this game to an end right now. We'll see if that's going to work out for him. These zealots warping in will do quite a bit of damage to the Zerglings. The trouble is he just doesn't have enough units, I don't think, to deal with this many roaches. And Recent doing a lot of damage to this Nexus. It looks like he's serious about taking this Nexus down and continuing the attack with these Zerglings at the same time. So a lot of damage here from Recent. Let's take a look at units lost. And now CarbonEuropa in quite a bit of trouble. He is 2,000 minerals behind his opponent in units lost. And the expansion has gone down. And Recent now streaming more units over here, and it looks like this might be the last attack. Is committing to this attack. Recent right now is going to be moving into the base and probably putting an end to this attack. And there's the GG from CarbonEuropa. So very, very good game, and a very quick win, relatively quick win from Recent. So well done, gentlemen. We'll see you guys in the second round of this matchup.